Hey, 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 welcome to Becoming a Powerhouse Brand podcast. I'm Jackie Laws, personal brand visibility and empowerment mentor for heart-led, impact-driven entrepreneurs who know they are here to change lives with their magic and build a dream life by design while they do it. This is where we blend soul, strategy and subconscious work to help you stand out as the leader you already are. We talk identity shifts, confidence, energetics, and the real behind the scenes of building a brand that feels aligned, magnetic, and apologetically you. If you are ready to take center stage in your life and business, you are in the right place. Let's dive into today's episode. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Becoming a Powerhouse Brand. I have got someone very special on the show today. This is actually a returning guest on the show, and it's my very first returning guest. This is Sherisse Bisram. Sherisse is a feminine embodiment mentor. She's a global speaker and an MC. And Sherisse is all about helping you to really step into your power and overcome any of those past doubts that have been holding us back and just help you basically become your true main character self. So Sherisse, welcome back to the show.
Yay, thank you so much for having me back. And it's just so nostalgic, isn't it? Like when we're speaking about like 2024 being the year that we both like kind of came together. It's just, yeah, crazy how much has changed and evolved for both of us. And I'm really excited for this conversation.
Yeah, I cannot wait. For those that don't know who you are, could you just give us a bit of an intro into what it is that you do and how you kind of got into this space?
Yeah, absolutely. So I am really at my core all things female empowerment. And that's whether it's working with girls in schools to give them the tools to be able to find like true self-empowerment through, understanding how to regulate their emotions and their hormones and all of those different things and elements and overcoming, trauma patterns and all of that to supporting women on being on global stages and knowing exactly what it is to say and relay their message. There's such a, I guess, I see it say a golden thread that ties all of my work together. And I feel like me working with girls and working with women is the full circle that I feel like a lot of people are missing, because who we are right now as women is a byproduct of what we experienced in our childhood. And so many of us are actually leading our life with our inner child pulling our hand and pulling us all over the place and causing tantrums and all of the things. So when we can work with our inner child, support her, regulate her, reparent her, we naturally then take the reign as the adult and create the life that is we truly want. So for me, everything is a full circle.
Yeah, I love that. And I had a look before we started recording. Our episode was the 28th of March 2024. And I feel like although we talked about embodying your true self and finding your voice and all of these things, I think the journey both of us have had over the last 2 years is a long time, isn't it? When you've been doing personal development work, like you get taken on these routes that you didn't even see coming. So what has changed for you personally over the last couple of years?
I think that, everything I talk about is embodiment, like we said. And for me, it's just the deeper layers. So I think that in order for you to stand out fully and to shine brighter, you have to meet yourself deeper. And so for me, these last few years have really been about shedding the layers that I thought I was and the performance and, that dancer mentality, because obviously that's what I was before, to really stripping back and understanding who Sherisse is at her core. And when she has nothing, when things go wrong, when you can't perform your way out of a situation or fix a situation, who am I then? When everything disappears. And 2025 was such a difficult year for me. So much shed, old timelines, people, work that was consistent, kind of all went. And I was left at the bare bones of myself. And I was thinking, well, if I don't do this work now, what do I do? And I always keep coming back to, I just have to be myself, right? And then everything flows. And so I kind of had to strip the ego of what I thought I was going to be known for and seen as and all of the things, because it always comes back down to how I live my life is what people are guided by. So what I mean by that is it's not about, I'm not a person that says about six figure months or, seven-figure months, because that's not my reality. I only teach from where I'm at. And I promise you that I am exactly the same person in Tesco's as I am on stage. So for me, it's about, meeting myself there at that deep part. And so many women are in a state in their lives right now where they are performing happiness, having it all
Yeah.
together, being reliable, responsible, and capable, and their nervous systems are crumbling, their inner world, their inner critic is just literally overriding their senses all of the time. And I've found a way to find a beautiful relationship with the self, and that's where I think leads from. So when I talk about embodiment, it's because I've really, really gone to those gritty depths of myself and, really found the light in all of that. So, yeah, I would just say I've, like I said, just met myself deeper so I can shine brighter, really, more than
Yeah.
anything.
And I know you always talk about like shadow is such a beautiful thing as well, because in order to be light, like we do need to have those shadow moments. We need to have those challenges, don't we? But I think it's almost how you see those moments when you're going through challenges. And I know for myself personally, in the past, I've had challenges and almost made it mean something about me when actually it's an opportunity to think, okay, why am I feeling this way? How can I go deeper? And what things need to be rewired so that I can actually not feel this way, but just learn from it. And it's just such an amazing process when you can come through that and you're kind of out that other side.
Yeah, definitely. And I feel like, one thing that people get wrong, I think, is that they think that the key to living a happy and fulfilled life is that you sustain that happiness. But in order for you to have like the full spectrum of life, you need to have the darkness. And every time you meet that darkness, like I said, the light gets brighter every single time. So you can't override it or bypass it, because if you do, your life's going to end up being very grey because you're not reaching the depth of the shadow or the brightness of the light. So there's so much to it, and it's so important, and so many people are avoiding that work because they're scared of it, right? But actually the scariest thing is staying exactly the same, I think, personally.
Yeah. I'd love to know because I know you had this passion to help younger girls in schools. And I know you went back into your school, didn't you, recently? I'd love to know what you've kind of discovered from helping a completely different generation of female in the challenges that come up for them. Because it must be very different to those that kind of in that I'm running a business mindset to just being a kind of schoolgirl. Like, what have you noticed?
The most profound thing that I've learned from these girls is their problems are exactly the same as ours. So
Wow.
how they feel about their body, relationships, um, you know, even like self-care and personal hygiene, like all of the things that we worry about as women, the girls are worrying about too. And the scary part of that is, why is a teenage girl worried about that now? That's my real worry. And it's because for me, I feel like society puts so much pressure on girls to be women at such a young age. And, societally, again, that we are expecting girls to help with the housework and, learn to be good at listening and good at helping and a caregiver, all these responsibilities that they're not supposed to have. And we're not doing the same for boys. So this is the real divide that I see. But I've actually always worked with girls and women, obviously, when I was dance teaching. So I've always had a really good rapport with the girls and understanding their bodies and the worries and the things that they have. But yeah, I think a lot of women think that, how they navigate their business is so different to what this girl is doing at school or whatever. But actually, how you do one thing's how you do everything, right? So the relationship you have to the business could be the relationship you have to the masculine, and that girl could have a really challenging relationship with her dad, and it's the same energy. So the work I actually do with both women and girls is exactly the same. I just maybe say a few different words differently or use a few different analogies to meet them there, but it's always the same.
Yeah, I love that because what the work that you're doing now for that younger generation is only going to benefit them and help them to be healthier, happier, more fulfilled women as they grow up, but also to have those tools that they need to be able to overcome those challenges that they're going to go through in life. I think because we didn't, as older women, midlife, like whatever age you're in, 20s, 30s, 40s, we didn't have that kind of support when we were in our crucial stage of our teens. Actually, we've never kind of learned how to be human and how to survive like daily challenges that may come up. So we're all having to unlearn all the things that we picked up, aren't we, as teenagers and
Yeah,
children.
100%. Yeah, and I feel like that was a real pivotal time in my life when I was in such the pit of trauma of what I was experiencing in my life that if I had someone tell me these tools then, I'd have lived my life very differently. And so it's so, fulfilling and nostalgic, and just a really beautiful thing that I get to do is give them what I know that I needed.
Yeah, yeah. How can we help, like as women, to share our voices, to share our message in a way that is completely aligned to us? And I hear the words alignment all the time. It's kind of plastered around everywhere at the moment. But you do get kind of a real mix of messages that get put out there from women of like, you need to achieve this, you need to achieve that. If you're not achieving this, then you're not successful, and all of this. How do you kind of break through that noise? Because something I'm extremely aware of now is my eldest is she's 10 years old, so she's not on social media or anything yet, but I'm very aware that she will be. And the massive information that is out there for women in particular to be a certain way, to have these big goals and things, it can almost be really, really overwhelming, can't it? How can we not necessarily do better, but how can we think about how we're getting our message out there in a healthy way and actually find our real main character energy without kind of going down on a different tangent?
Yeah, absolutely. I love that question. Thank you. It's truth, right? And I don't want to say authenticity because, again, that's a word that's thrown about so much. But I'll tell you a funny story. So today, I again had a chaotic day, and I currently don't have a bathroom. And I've packed all my stuff to go to the gym, to shower, to come back. I've got my sister to be in law hen do today, so I'm going to get ready after this and go. Forgot to pack knickers. So I've had to drive home in my tracksuit bottoms with no knickers on, right? So that for me, it's my truth. And that shows women listening that we can look perfect, we can be on stage, we can be shiny, but we are human, right? And so that funny story that I shared, I'm sure someone in the car listening is creasing up because they're like, oh my gosh, I've done that before. And it's just these little moments of personableness, right? I'm never um too pristine or have my edges like softened. Like for me, I feel like when I'm on stage as well, I translate so well to the audience because I'm always this version of myself.
Mm,
And I think when you don't differentiate who you are on camera and who you are in real life, that is the easiest thing because you're just showing up and being you. And if that is a challenge for you and you feel like, oh, not sure how much to give, not sure how much to take, the work is in personal development. So it's
mm,
not in messaging, it's not in changing your brand colors, it's in how do I feel about me? Because when you feel good about you stop caring about what other people think. Like I'm pretty sure that no one else would come on here and tell you they forgot their knickers and joke. I will because and I don't want to say I don't care, but these things aren't their humanness, like I said, and I
yeah.
want you to know that I'm human and that we all do it. It's PMS mode. My brain's like scrambled eggs. I'm just like owning the fact that, hey, that was me today. And I feel like when I share those things online, that's when women really connect. That's when they really feel like, oh, like this woman is, empowering women, empowering girls, standing on stages, but she's also like me.
Forgetting her knickers.
Yeah, exactly that, right? So I think that it's not about a strategy or a template or a chat GBT prompt. It's about who are you? And if you can meet yourself, and you can do that through journaling, you can do that through audio, just sending yourself a voice note and just speaking out loud how you're feeling right now, you're going to get to be able to join the dots of like where that missing part is in you.
Yeah.
And again, if you dive deeper, you can do the inner child work and all those things. But if right now you're thinking, I really want to share this message, but I don't know what to say, then you need to hash it out a little bit with yourself and you'll find the answer.
Yeah, 100%. I think it is always doing that inner work, isn't it? I think so many people get so focused on the external things, like whether it is how much money you want to make each month, or what does your brand look like, what does your website look like, what offer should I put out there. They don't actually focus on who they are and what it is that they want to achieve in life. And also that's going to change as they go through different seasons, isn't it? I think even this morning I looked at my vision board from 3 years ago and I actually wouldn't want any of those things that are on that vision board right now. How I want to live my life now is completely different. I think it's really healthy to have that balance and allow yourself to flow through different stages without thinking, oh, okay, well, I haven't achieved that, so that means I failed. It's just, okay, what do I want in my life like right now? What am I trying to achieve?
Yeah, and I find that, we put so many things on a pedestal, like you said, especially when you start business, you get sucked into the, oh, I need to have the 10K months, I need to have this amount of clients, I need to do this thing. But actually, I think what a lot of women are realizing right now, it's a better quality of life that they want. And I
Yeah,
can see that in your content as well, that you're in a place where you look really happy because it looks like you're doing everything that you want to be doing. And I think
yeah,
that that's what we should be striving for. But that's also what people want to see, is that you're living a really beautiful, peaceful, lovely life. Because as women, we were taught this narrative that in order to be successful, we had to be masculine, we had to push for the money, we had to, wear a blazer and be powerful. But actually, I think what a lot of us are realizing now, especially millennial women, is that happiness is in the softness. I do want to be taken care of. I don't want to have to worry about what time the bills go out and how much they are. I would like to pass it on to someone else. Now, someone listening to that might be like, wow, and I talk about female empowerment, but that's what empowerment looks like to me, is that I want to hand over some of the responsibility. I don't want to carry it anymore. And I feel like that in myself is such a big full circle for me. But again, this is why we need to keep meeting ourselves on this journey. Like you said, 3 years ago, that vision board meant something to you. Right now, it's like, wow, I've changed so much and I'm really
yeah,
glad. So
yeah,
that's really beautiful.
yeah. What is next for you? What are you working on next?
Well, I currently have a really big project that I'm working on with my local council, and it's a test and learn. So basically, there's funding coming into certain areas in the country in the UK, and they are basically trialing not physical education, physical activity for minority backgrounds. And one of the backgrounds is obviously women and girls. And so that project is about to launch. And I've been working on it with the council for about 8 months, and it's been pushed back, pulled forward. So that's something that I'm working on right now, which I'm really excited about. And if it goes well, we'll get another load of funding in 6 months' time, and then I'll get to like push that out further. And then with women, I've tried to really consolidate my pathways, because obviously there's a lot of things that I do. So the first pathway is all about the heal and rebuild. So it's all about this deep inner work, it's understanding ourselves, it's creating that solid foundation. And the second pathway is express and lead. And that is obviously for the women that want to speak on stages, for the women that are ready to be fully seen in all of their, you know, magic, and that's for the woman that has done that inner work, that's ready to now step out and step forward. So yeah, it's there's lots of strings to my bow, but I feel like ultimately it all comes from me being the embodiment, and that's really the baseline of why I do this work.
I love that. And for anyone that is listening to this that hasn't met Sherisse in person, make sure you get to one of the events that she is speaking at, because your energy is just infectious. I can't even remember where we first met. It must have been at one of Rebecca Barr's events. But yeah, like your energy is just, it's just you. You are the same person, like however you see you. And it's just so beautiful, because there's not that many people that are literally speaking their truth in all areas of their life and business. So it's just very refreshing. It's really good to have you back on the show, Sherisse.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. And yeah, it's been lovely to stay connected. I feel like for me, like that quality of friendship and feminine energy and feminine support, I think is the most important thing that we all need to have, especially in
Yeah,
this industry. So anyone listening, I really urge you to follow up with your connections, and be friends first. And I know that that almost feels like a bit counterproductive when you want clients and things like that. But honestly, like I am more likely to recommend Jackie to someone that needs a website than someone I've just met, because I know and like Jackie and trust her. So
yeah,
yes, connection, collaboration is all the feminine.
yes. What would you give as your final like words? What would you like to give as a top tip or piece of advice for everyone listening today?
Well, probably just to reiterate what I've already said, in that you as you are, just the raw, unfiltered, straight up you is really what someone needs. So stop changing the way you say something, stop re-editing the video, and go back for your drafts and post them, because I promise you, people want to see that unfiltered version of you in your truth. So yeah, if you've been worried about your messaging or how powerful you look, and you're worried that your power might be watered down because you've said a few swear words, or you've not brushed your hair that day, people do not care. They can feel authenticity. And so you speaking your truth and being in it is all anyone wants to see.
Love that. And where is the best place to connect with you? Are you an Instagram girl? I think you are.
Yes, Instagram is probably my main space, but I mean, I have like LinkedIn and all of the things. But yeah, if you need me, drop me a DM on Instagram.
Amazing. I'll pop your links in the show notes below, and hope you have a beautiful rest of your day, Sherisse. Enjoy the hen do.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.